Move over, Swanson. I'm driving.
Wow!
Hey, Slam! My thing
Welcome back. Let's go. Welcome back. Okay, here we go. Wow. All right. Welcome back to the Caddyshack Minute. This is the show where we watch Caddyshack, even the parts where it's just Ty, Webb, and Carl just sort of shooting the shit and stuff. My name is Tom Taylor, and I am here with your co-host, Mike DeMaria.
Yeah, hello.
And your other co-host, also, Dan Lewis.
59 degrees outside, breezy. We got traffic backed up on the 580.
I was always blown away
on
the
like 60 interchange all the way up to Concord, and that's expected to clear in the next.
Be able to do the traffic helicopter thing and just like do that with your chest.
In the sky.
Well, that was very impressive.
I can't see through metal, Kent.
When's my right time? Anyway, yeah, this is Caddyshack Minute. That's the name of the show.
Yeah.
And then we're here to talk. Isn't this Caddyshack Minute? This isn't
You're
Russia,
a goddamn pro, let me tell you.
Thank you.
Way to nail it.
It's minute 76 of Caddyshack that we're here to discuss today. And minute 76 begins with Ty falling down in some bushes. And it ends with Ty proclaiming that Carl's place is awful. And in between that, we get what I guess was a scene that was written in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
This is the story that John Peters, the producer, declared there has to be a scene with Bill Murray and Chevy Chase in this movie.
Right.
And so they wrote it real quick and filmed it.
They did it live.
Even quicker. They did it live.
They wrote
there were no
it, they
words
did it
on it when they
live.
started, but then
There
they
were
wrote it and
words
they did it
on it.
live.
To end the show?
Yeah.
In the show.
They thought it was going to end the movie.
I like this. For my money, this is the best. This is the best Bill Murray scene. For my money,
It probably is the best Bill Murray scene. I think I agree with you. I'm making light of it and sort of poo-pooing it, but it's got some good stuff in it.
Now, is it because it's more written and less improvised?
I wonder, like, if that's what's keeping me from liking it more. Possibly.
No, I mean, what I mean to say is that is it better because it's more written? In other words, somebody's writing down all these clever lines about Northern California Sensimilla and the whatever it is.
That's the next minute.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying, is it that's a reason? But it possibly is a better scene.
I'll allow
I don't
it.
know. Look, what he's doing is good for improvising. It's good, but that tells you what you need to know about improv. I mean, it's garbage for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Just people making shit up.
It is.
You know what was the worst?
I think I saw a quote the other day from somebody saying that puns were the lowest form of humor, but he hadn't seen improv yet.
Improv's the worst.
It's the
and
worst.
I'll tell you, and it's the worst when it's done by those hacks on the Drew Carey show.
Like
right.
whose line is it anyway?
Yeah,
but those guys are great at it. So just imagine how bad it can actually get.
No,
those
but the
guys,
point
Mike,
is,
are great at it.
I don't care. I don't find any of those guys funny at all, like on their show. And they just that tall, lanky one with the curly hair has this smug smile on his face all the time. He has this smug smile on his face all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like he gets it and I don't.
It's his moment to shine.
But that's you being put off by an individual there. That's not you having a problem.
No,
with
and then the bald guy, and then the other guy. It just drives me nuts. And then every once in a while, like what's the guy from the guy who hosts the God blessed game show
Drew
now?
Carey.
No, not him. The one that
Drew
does.
Carey.
No,
Drew
I'm not talking about Drew Carey. The guy that will show up the. Wayne Brady.
Shit together. Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady will show up there one time in a shiny suit, and they'll start and they'll improv, and there's that smug smile, and it's like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Never did.
I hear you.
I liked it in the old days when it was one of the only things on Comedy Central when it was first showing up on cable and stuff. It was just that and Mystery Science Theater 3000.
And again, can I just reiterate? I'm not. I know that you don't like it still, but I'm telling you, those guys are about as good as it gets.
That's fine.
So
but it proves,
it just tells you you're missing my point though over and over again.
I get it. I know what you're
You're
saying.
missing it over and over.
When it's really good, it's still fucking annoying.
Yes, exactly. It's like
I get it.
It's like being like, I think I just don't like. I can't think of another example. Indian desserts.
Indian desserts.
That's what I'll go with. I'll go with Indian desserts.
There's nothing better than Indian desserts.
Are we supposed to
I noticed
yes
that I
and
don't
now?
like Indian desserts.
Are you just making it up, or are you saying that you don't?
I'm not making it up. I was trying to think of another thing that even at their best, I don't like, and therefore at their worst, I would. For instance, cake. Okay, I like cake. A great cake is great. A bad cake can be fine.
Yeah, there's
right?
often not.
But what I'm trying to think of is an example of, even when it's great, I still don't like it.
Well, okay, you could easily do that with music. If there's a form of music that you just can't stand, but you
he didn't say music.
This guy is clearly a brilliant saxophonist.
He said Indian desserts, and I want to stay on Indian desserts to block.
Right. Fair enough.
I'm
staying with Indian desserts to block, please, Chuck.
Oh, go with Gilbert Godfrey.
To block, to go.
No,
No, and I know what you're saying, because a lot of Indian desserts have a dark spice to them regardless.
Not
almost
spice,
like a savory.
It's that syrup. There's like syrup.
Oh, okay.
And it's like this, it's like a cakey clay. It just makes no sense to me. Why?
And it's overly
delicious
sweet,
cakey clay,
but it's overly sweet too.
Oh yeah, it's so saccharine.
It makes your teeth hurt.
I really think it's gross. I don't like it. And that's fine. I don't mean anything bad about the culture of
Yeah, we know what you're saying, Dan. You're coming through loud and clear.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
It's not okay to say that. I don't like them.
Mm-hmm. Hey, speaking of things that aren't okay to say,
I love their head massages.
This is apropos of nothing.
Yeah.
Is it if you called somebody a puss, P-U, I don't know, S-S, I guess?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Would you consider that like a I don't know even what was it a slight against the homosexual community?
No, I don't think so. It's more misogynist than it is homophobic, isn't it?
Like if you call a guy that guy's a puss. Look at him. He just he threw that ball and it went nowhere.
Now
he's talking about you.
Exactly.
Funny thing is, you're looking.
I'm trying to clarify
mirror.
if somebody was trying to call me gay or not.
Well, it is interesting about that word is that, and I know it's not exactly the point you're making, but I want to before we move forward, is that it's very, very much milder than calling somebody a quote unquote pussy.
Yeah.
Right? It's much milder.
I agree completely.
If you say for some reason, but I don't know why it's milder, but it is.
It's like the difference between I don't know, saying fuck and frig or something.
Yeah.
That friggin' jerk.
Yeah, friggin'.
Well, let's go back because you did say something. Is that kind of stereotyping? Is what you're saying?
I guess so. If you called somebody a puss, would they have grounds to say that you were accusing them of being gay or making fun of them for being gay?
I'm going to say no. There's a faint undercurrent of feminization there that suggests a kind of but I don't think you could. It's a bit of a stretch to say that. Maybe I'm
I
wrong.
feel the same way. Okay.
Or here's something along those lines. Story time, little children.
Hey,
story time. I should have theme music for story time.
I was just thinking that, but then I was I'm not going to say it because then they're going to make me find music for story time, and I don't want to do it.
No, the other day, some of my coworker and I were talking about because we were one of my coworkers just got back from Ghana on the plane, right? And she was saying that the guy sitting next to her was on WhatsApp, and the person he was WhatsApping with was named Taliban T. So she got a little freaked out. So she started just analyzing the guy, and then he picked up. Then he switched over to another person, and was talking. Oh, I love you. I miss you. I'll see you soon. And was sending all these hearts. So then she was worried that this guy might be a little weird, but then she was comforted by the fact that he was sending hearts to a woman. Because he was I said the same thing happened to me.
It was those the traditional heart, right? Not the anatomical.
No, saying. Oh. No, and so the same thing happened to me. Something along the same came when I was coming back from Kenya. There was two guys sitting next to me, and the one guy got up and bolted to the front of the plane, which is the no-no. And he sat in this chair next to one of the stewardess. Flight attendant, I should say. And his friend is looking at him through the cracks of the chair, and then just gave him a thumbs up, we're in position now. And I was like, oh Christ, here we go,
Oh boy.
So I'm wide awake and I'm looking over, and so I start surveying the seat that the guy left, and I noticed he had a Kind bar, like a granola bar, in the magazine rack, in the magazine pouch, and I said, okay. Now, if the guy was going to do something malicious on the plane, he's probably too preoccupied with that to bring a snack. So I said, he brought a snack, so I think he's not going to do anything. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've had a kind bar. Does that make me a scary person?
No,
Well,
it's
it
like
might be a last
No, but that's
snack.
what you're thinking to yourself. You're
Well, it's like-
relating
it's like-
to the guy because he's got a kind bar.
no, you're saying like, okay, here it is. I'm going to finally do my dastardly deed today. I'm going to go on the plane. I'm never coming back from this trip, right? But
Yeah.
I remembered to bring a snack in case I get hungry on the plane before I do my. So I said, okay, he's going to have a snack. So I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he got up for a malicious reason.
He gets cranky when he's hungry.
And then I saw the flight attendant like give him a barf bag. So then I felt I felt
really?
bad. Then I felt like I was profiling.
I thought that those just came with kind bars.
Fuck you.
But
Taliban tea.
well, Taliban tea.
That's one of my least favorite online customization T-shirt sites.
Taliban tea.
Taliban tea.
Yeah.
They just don't have anything for me.
No.
It's
Right.
I miss their demographic.
The secular, right.
Hey, I have a question about the minute.
Sure.
Can I ask a question about the minute? About minute
Yeah.
76 of Caddyshack?
It's
Go
your
ahead.
dime.
He gets it. It's like totally ADR, but it's the line. Is that a titleist? Now is that you hear that in a lot of movies and stuff in a lot of places? Is that a titleist? It's like a punchline on Seinfeld. It's mentioned on like I don't know Goldfinger or something. Like was that an ad for titleist, or is that just something that people would say a lot on the golf course
I have
because
a
it was
theory
a
about
popular
this. Well, let me
brand?
clarify. One of the things they do with golf balls, and maybe a golf connoisseur can correct me online, but Caddyshack Minute listeners, so I'll check it out. But like they put the name of the ball on there, and they'll give a number. It'll be like Titleist 4, something like that.
Yeah.
And all it is just a way of saying like, I was playing with a Wilson ball. This is a Titleist. This one's yours.
Right.
Like, if there's any confusion as to whose ball is whose, maybe on the fairway or elsewhere, it's why, now it strikes me, now that you asked this question, I realize that you're probably missing the joke that Chevy Chase does in this minute by saying, like, oh, it's a Titleist. He says it when he's in the bushes.
Right.
It's
No, I get
funny.
that.
Oh, okay.
But
Well,
but it's the joke
but I think
itself
the
is a
reason they
reference
say
to a
Titleist-
longer standing joke.
yeah,
Or reference.
but I think the long-standing joke is that Titleist only makes golf balls. So you can't do the joke with a sporting company that makes other things.
Right.
Otherwise, the joke gets watered down. But by saying Titleist, you know for a fact they're making a golf ball joke, and just makes the joke more punchy and succinct.
But if you were on the golf course and you were confused about what ball it was, and you said, "Oh, is that a Wilson?" Nobody would think that you were playing with like a tennis ball.
No, but Wilson may make golf balls. I'm just saying that if you're going to reference the search for a golf ball, or if you're going to reference in any way a golf ball search or a golf ball thing, you're going to go with Titleist.
Okay.
Because you're
All
you're going with a company that only makes golf balls. So
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, all right.
That actually makes sense to me.
I think that's right.
It still seems weird that I've heard it so many times, though. It's a little
Well,
weird.
I just explained it to you. And if it
I
still
know,
seems
but-
weird, then what that is another way of saying you don't buy what I'm saying to you.
I buy it. It just,
you don't buy it.
like
No,
I'm not
you
at
don't.
all in the golf community. No, you don't. Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I would still
Yes,
know
I
you
do.
Where are those
Alright.
two? We just last saw them on the golf course, didn't we? The 18th hole.
Yeah.
Feels
Although
like a long time ago.
I see that Ty is at the 18th hole here, so he better watch out. Otherwise, the dancing 18th hole fairy,
Yeah.
Pixie girl,
Magic
might
Pixie.
come and he might visit him and tell him that she's not pregnant.
Yeah. Should floor him. Is he really on the 18th hole?
No, I don't know. I was just
No.
yeah.
That would have been funny. If Carl lived right next to the 18th hole.
But it does have that same mysterious like they took one gigantic huge halogen blue light and shot it in
Yeah.
one direction.
or just headlights or something.
It looks nothing like nighttime, not really.
Right.
It's
And supposedly Chevy Chase and Bill Murray hated each other's guts.
Yeah.
I always hear that. I don't know how true it is. But I
I've
guess
heard
it's
it
true.
many times. It's probably
Yeah.
a little bit less than that, but I do think I've heard it enough where I do buy that there's something going on there.
There was something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the scene, or something going on in the scene, or
Like
just something going?
in those days, like generally.
I think it was from Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah.
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 That's the story I always hear.
Like Bill Murray basically replaced Chevy Chase when he left? Mm-hmm. Was that sort of part of it?
That's right. But also maybe they knew each other from... They must have... I don't think that by itself, right? There'd be no reason for anyone to have any antipathy. But I think there must have been some other thing where... They do seem very different as people. I have to say. That's just an armchair kind of thing, but it really does seem true.
But there are also a lot of stories of both of them being jerks, like throughout the ages.
Yeah.
Probably more so Chevy Chase.
Like
You're a lot more Chevy Chase
has
story.
that kind of like jerky jerk, whereas Bill Murray has the like quirky jerk. Like Bill Murray's like a fun-loving. He might be a jerk because he plays by the beat of his own drum, whereas Chevy Chase is kind of like kind of famous for being a bit of a dick.
Yeah. That's fair.
One's a jerk, the other one's a dick.
I can't just decide. Which one do I choose? Whose side am I on in this battle of wills?
Oh, Mike, get it out.
You're making me cough.
Oh,
yeah. It shouldn't be possible. Why am I getting sick from you?
It's gross. So, I do like... So he's playing out of the bushes there. He says, oh, it's a Titleist. That's me. It's a funny joke, right? Because,
yeah,
by
that's
himself.
Good,
why would
sort
it not
of
be
Popeye
him?
like Chevy Chase-ishness, yeah.
You're not going to confuse the ball. And then he shoots the ball through the window, and it's... Obviously, the sound is... The ADR there is nothing like the window that actually breaks. It's completely different. Right. It's a gigantic plate glass window that you hear.
Yeah. It seems like... I think that's like a button on somebody's, sampling keyboard or something.
Right.
It's like the window break sound.
There's 3 window breaks, and some of them are just, the glass being crushed by the rabbi after a marriage. And then there's another one where it's like a little bit of a trinket breaking, and then there's the next one up is like an 18-foot plate glass window, and that's the one they went with.
Yeah, that's the baseball through the window. Yeah.
And then, just to walk us through here, as Carl comes out of his little shack, a living area there with like a very scary-looking farming implement.
But he's lined up as a lefty.
Yeah.
He lines up as a lefty. But when he shoots his golf club, or when he's doing his Cinderella story thing, he's shooting he's swinging right-handed.
Well, that might be just because for the shot they want to pick up the blade on the thing. If he held it in his right hand.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the shot. I'm talking about the actual. If I'm going to believe that this is happening, he's coming out as a lefty.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not watching it
for the shot or not.
Yeah.
Wait, is that right? So he
comes out as a
lefty. He should be holding it with the other hand.
Well, he should be facing the other way.
Oh, I don't know what to call it. It's some type of hoe, maybe.
It is. It's like a.
But it's halfway to what Death would use, the Grim Reaper.
Right.
Boats and hoes.
And then it's funny. For some reason they use the old horror movie trope of the shadow. They take a light from behind the corner on the other side of the corner, and they shoot it against an adjacent wall, so that when Chevy Chase comes around the corner, first you see this giant shadow, almost like it's going to be a monster.
Right.
And they're making a little movie joke there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which I don't think I really noticed before.
They're making a movie so they get to have fun and try these things out for the first time.
That joke, I think, was made particularly well in the movie The Third Man. If you've ever seen The Third Man.
I have, but I don't remember.
The kid with the balloons.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Check out The
Third
Man. Now,
what is it? Like, Ty's ball, his Titleist 6, has landed in some food. What is that food?
It's like a pot pie. What is it, Mike?
It's like a big... it's like pot pie crust. Something.
He likes to eat
just
the
leave the
inside
pie
out.
crust. That's the best part of the pot pie.
I don't know.
You're just having stew at that point.
It's just fried. It's just fried batter.
Yeah.
It's a fried pie.
I can't tell if it looks delicious or disgusting.
Mm-hmm. All right. It looks gross to me.
It does look gross. I'll go with gross.
I love how, what I think is a funny line is Carl saying, "Is that your ball I heard rambling around in here?" Like it broke a window, it flew into his apartment, and it's as though he hits a lot of traffic of golf balls there. Because he's like, "Is that your ball I heard rambling around out here?"
These balls just come and go, get rambling.
But it's not an apartment. It's a shed.
Yeah, it is a shed.
Right, he's living in a
pretty big shed.
It's not right to call it an apartment.
Yeah. But his living area is right here, but it's also behind him is the garage door, isn't it? So would he have to run over his own table and couch and stuff to bring equipment in there? Seems
I
odd
don't
to
know.
me. Something about the scene doesn't hold water.
Yeah. I'm looking at the pie now, and it's really hard to tell what it is, but it could be it appears to be stuffed in some way, almost like a pasty. But there's no way they're going to do a pasty.
That's what it looks like a pasty.
What's a pasty?
Oh, you don't know what a pasty is?
No.
That's a northern Michigan thing.
It's like a northern Michigan thing.
It's a meat pie.
Oh yeah.
It's like a meat and potato.
I'll have that.
Pie.
Every
It's
culture,
big.
almost every culture has some
It's
dough.
It's like an empanada.
With something in the middle.
Yeah, you take food and you put it in a bread kind of dough
Right.
thing.
And some places
who's
call
not
it a
gonna do that?
calzone, and some people call it a local dish with bread, and some people call it
Samosa.
a dumpling. Every
Samosa.
culture has got starch around a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in northern Michigan, pasties is what they give to the miners because it's an easy way to get a nice square meal. You can drop them down in the mine.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's like the Earl of Sandwich.
Now I wish I was a miner.
Wants to keep gambling. Just put the meat between two pieces of bread so I can keep rolling the numbers.
Okay, we'll innovate the entire food network of the world just so you can not get your hands dirty. Fine.
Pasty.
I wonder if this thing is. I can't stop looking at this thing, but could it just be like the bun from like a sandwich or something?
No, it looks
I
like
kind of ate the
looks
sandwich,
like,
but then there was too much bun.
It looks like a savory pie crust.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, it could be.
But it's
It
shaped
is
weird. That's what's throwing me.
There is I dare say it's got an egg quality to it, like an egg crust. It's got a very yellow kind of
Like an egg wash.
egg wash.
Yeah. Well, they brush the egg yolk on it before they put it in the oven.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you're gonna hit a ball out of there, are you gonna use a wedge to get off the crust, or are you gonna go with maybe an iron? What do you think? I mean, I'm not.
He
a
only
golfer.
brought in one club, didn't he?
Oh,
He doesn't
that's
have his
true.
whole thing with him.
That's true.
So I guess it's whatever he's got, but I don't know what that is. Would he have been using a wedge in the bushes? Would that be the tool of choice for that kind of situation?
Oh, fuck
I really
cares.
don't know. Yeah, who cares?
We're losing Mike.
Mike makes a very good point.
We gotta get out of this minute.
Now, who's bringing us down in this minute? Is it Bill Murray or is it Chevy Chase?
I think it's a combination of the two.
Chevy's bringing
It does
me down.
feel like the general character of Carl. Oh, I'm going to take back something that Dan and I both agreed on before because I disagreed completely and I remembered. There is one much better Bill Murray sequence, and that's the Bishop Pickering golf.
Oh.
That whole thing is brilliant.
Oh,
I love
but also,
that.
wait a minute, washing the golf ball. Let's not shortchange
Yeah,
Bill
no,
Murray
that's great
here.
too.
When he's washing
You're
the golf ball and he's going, "You wore green because you could hide."
Trip.
Yeah. You're a
Tramp.
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
I guess it's anything with the gopher, and then anything that was forced to be put into the movie by the producer who didn't really know anything about comedy or something.
Right,
I
or
guess those are the
any
parts I don't like.
extended monologue that he's giving where it's like this long thing,
Yeah.
It never works.
So he starts to feel like he's in a different movie. I was like, well, I was watching Caddyshack. Could you? All right, I'll
Let's
wait.
get back to that. Give me some more smells.
Yeah.
I have a question
get
for
more,
you. If
aren't
you
we?
had some sort of because they're getting really good with 3D printers and also with computing power and different kinds of algorithms. If they could somehow print a Ted Knight out in the Smales character and then give it a full vocabulary and then maybe just put it on stage and just have him just talk.
Yeah.
How long could you watch that? If there was a show and you went to it, and you had him, and he made up stuff that was basically tantamount to "How about a fresca?" and "Will you be my friend?"
So he'd be saying Smales-like things, but not just spewing direct quotes from the movie.
Right, exactly.
Is that
Smells like things just over and over. Like, how many hours could you sit and just watch it?
That's hard to guess, but I would say that I would love it and that I would be there for a long time and I wouldn't want it to end.
I think I'm opera length on that, about 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's better than an opera.
You're going to get uncomfortable just sitting there for that long, for anything. But, yeah. No, that'd be kind of brilliant. It would be like getting a little bit more it would be like getting more Smales.
That's what I mean. It would be in Smales. Yeah,
There's be more.
But it's new Smales generated by a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
It's like the way the Spider-Man movies, directed by Sam Raimi, all feel like they're kind of the same movie, like they're part of the same movie. So it's like, oh, I loved Spider-Man. That was so good. Oh, Spider-Man 2's coming out. It's not just a sequel, but it's more of that movie. That's great.
Right.
It's kind of like that.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
No,
but
you're totally with me.
understand.
I appreciate that. That's good.
Okay.
It's good to be understood.
I hate these comic book movies. They're just so dumb, I think.
You've said that before, yeah. But then
Yeah,
you
just-
like... There was one that you liked.
I
Was it
didn't like-
Superman?
I like the first Superman. I think that's
I
good.
love the first Superman.
And I like the first Batman, I think.
Superman 2 is good too with the Zod.
Yeah.
Zod.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
I like
No,
them
it's
both.
good.
They're basically a unit for me.
He has to go to the Crystal Palace to, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Mike
Okay,
likes
that's fine, but I guess I just
like
don't
the
want.
Crystal
Everybody always
Palace.
says, "Oh, it's a brooding and dark version of this thing."
No,
It's just
yeah.
like they just make the guy.
What are you talking
like,
about?
They,
What are you
they do
talking
the
about?
stupidest thing, like the
The
Dark
ones
Knight and all that
nowadays.
stuff.
Yeah.
They do
Well,
all
Bat-
these
the
like
Batman,
these dumb
I-
tricks to make you
yeah.
think it's deep, and it's not deep. It's just the same dumb shit.
And plus, Batman's an asshole. You notice that? Like Bruce Wayne is
kind
an
of is.
asshole, and Batman's an asshole, and people who like Batman are assholes.
Right.
They're all assholes.
Should I say if I like Bat? I want to like Bat. I like cartoon Batman. I like old timey cartoon Batman.
I like the camp.
I like the original Batman on TV,
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
talking about. With Caesar Romero.
where you get the pow
Yeah.
and the whack
Yeah.
White
and,
makeup over his mustache.
and Burgess Meredith, the great
Yeah.
Burgess Meredith
As the Penguin.
as the Penguin.
Yeah.
So great.
You know what's
wanna
weird?
see
When
him
he
as-
died, that was like the big thing that everyone referenced him as. Was oh, TV's the Penguin. I'm like, really, Burgess Meredith?
That's
Yeah.
also Rocky, right?
He's
He's in
Mickey.
fucking Rocky. He's on almost every episode of the Twilight Zone. It seems like
He was Mickey though. He was Mickey.
I like
I'm
Burgess.
ready into next week, Rock.
Oh, he's great. I love
Crap
Burgess Meredith.
Thunder.
Crap Thunder. That's a really good choice of words. Like if he'd said shit thunder or something,
Now
that still
that-
would have been
now
fine.
that-
But crap thunder is
That,
great.
and I know we've talked about, and I thought we've talked about this in the past, but that movie, Rocky, is one of the best movies ever made.
It's a great movie.
It is.
And,
We did-
and yeah, we talked
did.
about that. That Stallone could write that and star in it, and
Yeah.
just decide to never rise to that level again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really weird. Did
is
we talk
weird.
about the story behind that? Because I learned it from in film school about the how he insisted on playing the lead role.
Yeah.
And they were going to make him. They were going to buy it off of him for however much, 6 figures
Yeah.
back in the 70s. And he was like, "No, I have to play the role." So he got
Yeah.
the movie made. Like, and it makes it even more amazing what you're saying, right? Like that he
Yeah.
could be so auteurish in
Persistent,
this
but
way.
also be persistent about it, and then come out of that and just take any role that's thrown to him for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
It's like he said, "I did
Yeah.
it. Now I'm done, and I'm just gonna."
Right. I've made it. My goal
Yeah.
was to just be rich and make shitty movies, and I did that
Yeah.
through this work of significant art.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah.
That's
I
like
guess
that's like
selling out.
That's like if Arnold Schwarzenegger like started off by writing and starring in just one of the greatest like
Yeah.
stories.
You wrote
and-
Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah. No, you're Sylvester Stallone. I mean, no, you're Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's all you ever do, and that's like
Right.
Stallone is the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Because
if we were in those positions, who knows what we would do?
he had his moment in Rambo, I think, the first one.
Yeah, that was all right.
First Blood. I mean,
I
First
never
Blood.
was really huge on the Rambo movies.
No, but the first one was actually a little dramatic.
Yeah, the
He had
first
a
one was
couple-
actually a movie.
Now,
Yeah,
you
it was
talking about
actually a
First
movie.
Blood, or are you talking about?
Yeah, First Blood, not
Rambo.
The First Blood.
Or Rambo First Blood Part 2,
No,
or
just-
Rambo
just First
3,
Blood.
even though there was never a Rambo 2.
There was never. Right.
Yeah.
But at the same
there's no
time, it
Rambo
was-
2.
Right? No, it was First Blood was the first movie.
Right.
For what? What did he say? There was a speech he did that. For them? It was a weird movie. He just shot up a bunch of cops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I never
I want
really
Powers
got that.
Booth to have been in that movie, but he wasn't.
Yeah, he would have given
Powers
him more
Booth
of a...
would have been really
Seems
good.
like he should have been.
But you know
Brian-
what they do? Okay, so let me just say, in MacGruber, one of the great comedies ever made, Powers Booth does play. They copy that scene. It's almost like that your dream of Powers Booth being in Rambo comes alive.
Oh,
Because
hey.
He comes to
That
get
was easy.
MacGruber to pull him out of his thing to like say, MacGruber, we need you. You're in retirement now.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
And Powers Booth is the kind of good guy who recruits MacGruber to take down the bad guy, who's played by Val Kilmer, and and whose name in the show is Dieter von Kuntz. And MacGruber keeps saying, "Let's go pound some cunts."
Because it sounds like he's talking about.
Well, now I know.
Oh, shut up, Tom.
Well, now I know how we can kill two references with one clip. So when the Powers, I'll play the clip of Powers Booth in Tombstone while he's watching the St. Crispin's Day speech.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah.
It is good. It is green.
No, it is good.
It is green.
It is goodness. It is green.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
Trivia.
Oh, God.
Oh.
You had to say it.
Well, you would have lost the fucking cards.
Yeah, you lost the cards. Go find the cards, idiot.
I deserve that for some reason.
We shouldn't give him too much of a hard time. As we all know, this is a better half who lost the cards.
Yeah, better.
It's
Half.
It's his better third, because when you put them together,
loudly into the computer
it's
to
about a
find
third.
He's got to find his own trivia now.
I know. This is
He's
degrading.
very
There's got to be some trivia. Does anybody? There's got to be something. Come on, guys.
Well, Mike mentioned this
Flashbang.
before. The Caddyshack graduate seminar.
Hoss fuck.
I bet if I just go
I'm
back
going to do
a bunch
four
of
of these. I'm
minutes,
going to do the first four of these. These seem sort of long form and maybe more interesting.
Like
more of an
much of the
essay type
humor-
question.
They're like word problems.
Right.
Okay, if Al Chervik left the station at 3:45.
Yeah.
Okay, now much of the humor in Caddyshack is generated by Rodney Dangerfield's over-the-top performance as the boorish Al Chervik.
True.
All through, okay, number two. Now, all through the film, Chervik alternately entertains his hosts, the Scots, and the audience, and annoys the straight-laced snobs who constitute Bushwood Country Club's core membership. However,
There's a very good summary
another
so far.
facet of his character revealed in his first lines during the movie's dinner scene that may reveal why he acts this way throughout the bulk of the film.
Yes.
What is this?
It's his wife.
It's when his
wife's
wife died.
passing. Yeah.
His wife recently died.
Yeah.
That is
See?
correct.
He says to me, I got to have some fun, otherwise I'll have a $60 million funeral or whatever it is.
yeah.
Right. Is it something like since I lost Mona or something, or since Mona
Mona.
died or something?
Yeah,
That's
he's
right,
living
Mona.
he's living life
Yeah.
to keep
Yeah.
himself from
Let's cut him
from
loose.
feeling the pain.
That's
That's
right.
a good question. That was
Silencing
good.
those screams.
That
Keep
is a
going.
good question, and I think that
All right,
was a
number
very,
two.
very, very insightful.
And we nailed it.
Beyond his unique motivation for acting the way he does, it is also made explicit, albeit subtly,
Is the question
that Al
over yet?
Chervik has ascended to his material wealth from a very working class existence and thus has a deeper appreciation for a more physical, visceral existence than the old money group represented by Judge Smales.
Again, true.
Graduate
The
class.
Thornton Mellon.
What was Chervik's now obsolete occupation as a youth?
He used to carry blocks of ice up
Ice.
flights of stairs.
That is right. He was Iceman
Yeah.
to Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Oh, no, but he was an Iceman, yes.
Why would you say that, Tom?
It says Iceman. It just says Iceman.
Why
It's
would
like
you say
he's
Peter
carrying
Parker's
it.
Spider-Man? You can't fucking
Because
help
they were
yourself.
on a show together. It was Spider-Man and his amazing friends. It was Iceman and
Go up the
Firestorm.
stairs.
Yeah, but he can't. But he see what I'm saying? He can't help himself
I know.
by making references to other comic books.
Yeah.
It makes me crazy.
Ones that nobody cares about either. No one cares.
I care.
Except for his
no
good
one
friend
who's
Jerry
anyone
Porter.
cares.
Okay,
Except
just
for his good
Jerry
friend
Porter
Jerry
would care
Porter.
about that. I bet he watched that with me.
He'd say, "Say it again, Tom."
My good friend Jerry Porter. Okay, just for that, you're only getting
Say
one
it
more,
again, Tom.
One more question.
But wait, let me put my hand on you
The
inappropriately and then
cometh
say it again.
on Sundays. Yeah,
Dan missed that.
Iceman.
I did. I'm sorry.
Say it again, Tom, while I touch you.
Jesus Christ. Is that Jerry Porter?
I guess
Jerry?
so.
All right. I'm confused.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last one. This is the last one I'm going to do because these are so long and I'm exhausted.
Okay.
And I have to go watch Better Call Saul. For many of us who were very young, the first time we saw Caddyshack, this sounds like a good one, the highlight of the film was the pool scene, the details of which ought properly go undiscussed in a family forum such as this.
What is the capital
Okay.
of Mississippi?
What is the capital of Mississippi? What younger viewers may have missed, however, was the dryly humorous instruction at the head pro to the greenskeepers, decked out in full hazmat suits, before he is interrupted by the bellicose Judge Smales.
Oh.
Complete the fragment he is about to get out. Now, if you find anything that does look like a blank...
Feces.
Mike, you want to give it a try?
Contaminant?
I don't understand. What is this?
The
I
guy,
know- I
the
know what he
blazer
says.
guy who's always around for the... Yeah.
Boy.
We
boy.
discussed this too. We discussed this.
You're very close, Dan.
Excrement.
Baby rut.
Fecal remnant.
Fecal. That's it. Fecal. Yeah.
Okay, you get one more. You get
Fecal
one more.
remnant.
In one of the few Caddyshack scenes away from the country club, we see Chevy Chase's character, Ty Webb, romance beautiful young Lacey Underall. In this incisive scene, we learn what of Ty's Vietnam experience?
He didn't have to go to Vietnam because
That is correct.
He's homosexual.
Right. He didn't go.
With
He
a
was
sore hip.
homosexual, or so he says.
But he's willing to learn.
Yeah, but we're willing to learn. Nice tie in there, Mike.
Yeah,
That was
see what I
a
did?
tie-in.
See what I
Oh,
Would
did
you like
there?
to tie in
tie-in.
with your ties, Ty?
It's like one big web, you know?
Are either one of you a homosexual? No, but we are willing to learn.
But we're willing to learn. That's really good.
Just answer the question, please.
Great line. Great line.
And that was trivia.
Oh, thanks. Good job, Tom. I don't know where you found that, but there's no way they could have fit that on one of your cards, so I know you can find your cards.
Yeah, see, sometimes through adversity, we come through and we rip off stuff from other people.
Yeah.
Works out great.
Nothing
Now I'm
is.
going to say, well, listen.
Well, listen.
Why do you like
Is that-
that show, Better Call Saul? Why do you
Oh,
like
it's
that?
good.
Why do I like it? It's a good show.
Yeah, it's good.
How is
It's a
it
very
good?
well
I
done
mean,
show.
when they
It
said
is,
they were
though.
making that show, it was like it seemed like such a just overreach and such an obvious thing to do.
It does, doesn't it? It does. But then when you make it, you're like, okay, this is really good.
Yeah, I
And if it
never
was
made
anybody
it. I
other
never
than
made
Bob
that jump.
Odenkirk, you'd be like, come on.
Oh,
No,
we're
even with
just
Bob
letting you know.
Odenkirk, I'm like you're just trying to capitalize on this, and it's going to be
Yeah,
horrible.
but I totally understand your skepticism. But if you go ahead and make it and it's great, then you get away with
Yeah.
it.
The ends justify the means.
Yeah, in this
All right,
case, I
okay.
think it does. I don't know that. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I'll let you use that cliche.
Are you trying to figure out if it is ends
Yeah, I was
justifying
trying to
it?
figure out
It's,
if that is the ends
How
justifying
about if
the
it...
means.
how about this? How about this? The proof is in the
It's in
pudding.
the pudding.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay,
Exactly.
that's better.
Exactly. When it
All
comes to Better Call Saul vis-a-vis Breaking Bad, Stitch in Time saves 9, and I mean that.
It took me decades to figure out what a stitch in time saves 9 meant.
How many decades? I mean, that's a key question.
Honestly, like three decades. I was in my 30s before I understood that.
I never tried to figure
But
it out.
I didn't understand the syntax of it at all.
you
I
didn't
thought it was
take
like
a
an
second to
incomplete
just
thing.
think it through, right?
No, I thought because it was like an old saying, I was like, okay, this isn't grammatically supposed to make sense, so I'm not going to bother with it. I just know that
Right.
it's the thing that people say, and why worry about it?
Right.
But like a stitch in time saves 9. What? What are you talking? Like
Saves
I couldn't put the sentence together
Yeah.
as a thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could
And
see
then
that
finally
because
I
it
was
is a
like,
bit confusing.
No, there was some. Do you remember, Dan? There was some dumb commercial in Detroit where it was
By
like
the
it was
time
like
Tom
some-
got that thing, his clothes were all torn to shreds.
I was
Go ahead.
furious.
Sorry, Mike. Go
No,
ahead.
there was some dumb commercial in Detroit land, and it was like a furniture commercial, and there was some guy dressed up as Ben Franklin. He was saying all these sayings. He was like,
Oh
Stitch
yeah.
in-
Was it for Art Van?
It was for Art Van, and he would
Art
say
Van
Stitch in,
Weird.
Art
Yeah.
Van furniture, and he would say a stitch in time saves 9. Never eat spinach with a stranger. He's just like following this guy, like
Yeah, he
saying-
just keeps saying all the phrases, and he's dressed
all
up. He's
these-
like, and
He
for
said,
some
"Never eat
reason, you
spinach
should
with a
come in and buy a
stranger."
recliner because of it.
Yeah. So every
Yeah.
time I hear
Works on me.
every time I hear that phrase, I think of that commercial. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna
Weird.
find
It's
it.
funny.
I'm gonna
Later,
post it.
later on in life,
post
when
it.
I was like living elsewhere and the show Seinfeld was on, we were talking about Art Vandelay, and in my head, I'm always like, well, that's we had Art Van. Like it's the same.
Yeah.
I
Coincidence?
immediately thought he sold furniture when I heard that name, Art Vandelay.
Yeah.
You would.
He's an architect.
All right. Well, I'm calling it.
Okay.
So I got to go watch Better Call Saul. A
fuck yourself.
fantastic
Good for
show.
you.
Yeah.
With my wife, even though she lost the Caddyshack minute.
That is a good
Caddyshack
show.
Trivia game.
Yeah.
Maybe she's
please come
hiding.
back next time,
Maybe she's
everybody.
hiding him in your bed, trying to get you closer to the.
She's
into-
jealous
to
of you
sexy
guys.
time.
Oh, maybe that's it. Oh,
Look.
hey, I gotta go. Pardon me, fellas. I
sad.
gotta
Look
do
what
a
I
trivia
look
game.
what I got, Tom.
Is that a par 4?
Yeah.
Is that a
That's
title?
up to you. That's up to you, big boy.
Man in the boat overboard.
Boats and hoes.
All right. All right, everybody give me 15 minutes, and we'll come back for minute, what is it, 78?
Yeah.
Oh, 77.
Oh, God, 77. Just skip 77 you want to. No, okay, we'll do 77.
This is a good
Of
one.
Caddyshack here on the Caddyshack Minute.
Hey, you scratched my ankle.